Good morning. It is 3:45 a.m. and we are sitting in our car. Hi, I'm Kristen. If you're new here, I make videos capturing all of life's experiences. And today we find ourselves sitting in the car at this wildly early hour because we're getting ready to go on what I hope to be an epic New England road trip adventure. This is a really exciting trip for a lot of reasons. First, this is the first time I've ever gone on vacation by myself. I've done some day trips here and there, but I've never overnighted alone before. So that in and of itself is very exciting to me. And second, we're going to be visiting 6 states I've never set foot in before. So I'm excited for a trip of firsts. I'm excited to share more as this unfolds. I'll explain more about how this trip came to be, where we're going, the logistics behind it as we move throughout this time. It'll be a 4-day, 3-night adventure, so very quick. And while we won't be spending a lot of time in any one place, I do hope to catch a lot of glimpses of what New England has to offer. So stick around and let's have fun. I'm gonna hit the road and I'll check in with you in a little bit. Okay, so we've been driving for about 3 hours. We've made it past New York City and we've stopped at the state line park between New Jersey and New York to take a gander at the Hudson River and to stretch our legs, stretch our body a little bit. So far it's been a really easy drive. I didn't hit a single bit of traffic around Manhattan, which was the goal. And it's beautiful out. This is a great place to stop, so if ever you're venturing up this way, I encourage you to pause. I'm here about 6:45 in the morning, and yeah, it's just quiet, it's peaceful. It's right alongside the Hudson. If I didn't mention that, I'll show you in a second. But there's just lots of birds, and despite the fact that we're right across from Yonkers, certainly in an urban area, it's incredibly peaceful. So far so good. So as I mentioned, this park is right on the Hudson River. So you can see we've got cliffs here. And over in this direction, like way out there in the distance, I'm gonna zoom you in. I think you can see part of New York City. Let's see, the camera will pick it up. That might be part of New York. But I know this here is Yonkers. Oh my gosh, it's just so peaceful. What a great place to stop and stretch your legs. So here we go. It's called State Line Lookout, and you can see it's a pretty large park. And it runs right along the Hudson River. There are points all along where you can stop and see. They're like maps guiding you to let you know what you're looking at. This is pretty wonderful. What a great little spot. There's even a cafe and bookstore. It's closed right now because it's too early. It's not open yet for the day. This is simply breathtaking. All right. Well, this was a nice little break. It's time to get back on the road. I'll check in again soon. Hello again. We are still in the car, only this time it is just after 10 o'clock and we are in Middletown, Connecticut. We've stopped here to get a little coffee from this really cute coffee shop over here called Purgatory. Look at this fun cup. I think it's adorable. The shop is really cool and they have lots of it's kind of very punk rock themed. They were playing Wayne's World on the TV screens, which is hilarious if you're unfamiliar. I did go for about a 30-minute walk before I went in to get I actually got a chai, not a coffee, and was going to take you with me and film, but I realized pretty quickly that where I am, there's a pretty significant homeless population, and there's like a St. Vincent de Paul, and people were getting food, and it just felt uncomfortable filming folks in a vulnerable position. I at no point felt unsafe or anything like that. I just wanted to be considerate of the residents here of Middletown. So instead, I thought maybe you and I could drive through Main Street as we get back on the road and make our way to our final destination of the day. Let's go. So this is Main Street, Middletown. What a cute town. How adorable. This town seems like it might be in the middle of a resurgence. There are lots of really adorable cafes and restaurants around. There are also a fair share of buildings that look like they're for lease that currently are uninhabited, but there are lots of people out. This town is bustling for kind of late morning on a Tuesday. It's really cute. I did mention earlier there seemed to be a relatively significant under-resourced population, but by and large, this town just seems like it's thriving. And again, at no point did I feel unsafe. In fact, I saw police officers on bikes kind of riding up and down the sidewalk, interacting in really positive ways with the folks who were getting resourced at the various churches and missions organizations that I came across. But this town is really sweet, and my chai from Purgatory is absolutely delicious. I'm so grateful for a little refresh. It was nice to stretch my legs before we get on to this final leg of our journey. We have about an hour and a half left of driving today, or at least of like our big drive, before we're in what will be our final destination for the day. So let's get going. Okay, so we've made it to our destination of the day, Brattleboro, Vermont. I can't believe how beautiful this place is. I've been here for just a minute and I'm so excited to tour this town. It's so cute. I drove down Main Street and saw lots of cute shops I want to pop into, but what really struck me the most is that love your neighbor vibe that I kind of gathered from the internet presence of Brattleboro seems to be very alive and well, and I'm really excited to check it out. And wait till you see these views. I mean, this place is really pretty spectacular. I'm really excited to be here. Alright, so we've been into a couple of shops, some cute secondhand stuff, a really cool comic book store, and now I need to get something to eat. So that is our next adventure, is to find something delicious to eat. I'm so hungry. This town is super cute, and this weather today is literally perfect. It's gorgeous here. Okay, we just stopped at this place called Anecdote Books, and they have a little coffee shop inside called Duchess Coffee, and let me show you what I got. So I got a guava and cream cheese pastry and a matcha with oat milk, and I'm just sitting out here right in front of the store taking a second. This is the name of the place, Anecdote Books. It's a little independent publisher here, and they have a bunch of little books inside that you can get, as well as a cafe that has lots of coffee and tea drinks and some pastries. This town is really cute. This place, Anecdote Books, they have a cafe inside that has a wide array of espresso drinks and tea drinks, as well as just tons of books. It's a small independent publisher, and they have lots of books inside too. It's just cute. I imagine this being a place where a lot of locals come. In fact, the woman who was in here before me was having a whole conversation about her family and health stuff, and it just seems like, again, the community here is just really tight-knit and beautiful. So I'm excited to dive in and have a treat and take a little break, and then we're gonna go find more fun stuff. So one thing that's really clear here in Brattleboro is that they value literature, they value books so much. I feel like I've seen, I don't know, a dozen or so bookstores. I mean, here's one, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you right here. That one's Everyone's Books, and it has new and used books, all different kinds. They kind of pride themselves in having a wide selection of banned books, and I don't know, as someone who loves to read as much as I do, it makes my heart really happy to see literature, reading really placed at a high priority. So I love it, as this mural would indicate. It's pretty cool to see a town rally around reading as much as it seems Brattleboro does. It's great. Okay, well that was really fun. Downtown Brattleboro is just bustling with unique shops, local artist galleries, lots of bookstores like I mentioned, and it's all surrounded by nature with the big mountain and the river that kind of cuts through town. It's really spectacular. But we're gonna head away from the downtown area to a place called Retreat Farm, which interestingly enough, you could walk to from downtown. We're gonna drive because after there, we're gonna head to our campground. So instead of walking, we'll just take the car because I don't know how long we'll be there and I don't wanna get stuck after dark. But Retreat Farm is this farm that's open to the public. They have a market that won't be open today, but they sell like, I think like local dairy products there. But then in addition to a farm with animals, they also have 10 miles of walking trail that are open for the public to use anytime. So we're gonna head there, spend a little time moving our body, being outside. It is absolutely spectacularly beautiful here. So we're gonna go hang there for a little bit and then we'll head over to the campground. Okay, we are here at Retreat Farm, and I'm so curious about this. So as I mentioned, this is, from what I understand, a working farm that's open to the public, and they have 10 miles of trails that you can explore. It looks like, oh, there's some trail guides. Let's go ahead and grab one of those. Oh, that's great. That's perfect. So let's head up this way. There is a market, but they're not open today. So let's go see what we can find here. So in the middle of this farm, there are all of these historic buildings, and they have these great plaques in front of each one that kind of give you a glimpse into the history of this place. But it started as an opportunity to feed Brattleboro, it seems like, and continues to be a working farm in some aspects today. Largely it seems like an event space, but it really is beautiful and obviously very well maintained. And it looks like we found some goat friends. So let's go say hi to them. Oh my word, they're so cute. Wait till you see these guys. Absolutely precious. Aw. Hi, goat friends. Oh my goodness. So cute. Aw. Okay, so now we're standing to the back side of all of those buildings that we saw and found this pretty spectacular bubbling brook, because that tracks with the rest of this gorgeous day. And we're gonna go explore some of the trails here at Retreat Farm. Let's see what we can find. Okay, so we're gonna take this little lamb loop. Oh my gosh, it is so serene. Holy cow. I love this. Every few feet there are these pages from a book. I've not seen the cover, so I don't know the story, but this is just really lovely. It's like a whole forest playground for kids. Okay, we've done a couple miles here and it is starting to get a little bit later. So we're gonna make our way back to the car and head over to our campground for the evening. I mean, but goodness, look at just how beautiful these woods are. I mean, just really spectacular. The camera, of course, does not do any justice. So, so, so pretty. And the trail itself, it's like gravel, so it's pretty accessible, nothing too strenuous. But we're back towards the beginning, so let's go get in our car. Okay, we're here. We're in Fort Dummer State Park in Vermont, just south of downtown Brattleboro. And we are staying in Site 37. And I think tonight I'm gonna kind of be tucked back here in this corner by myself. There is a hiking trail that kind of leads right next to my campsite, and in a little bit I'll show you my whole setup. I'll kind of give you a walkthrough of what we're working with and how we're making this road trip work. But I thought I'd take a quick minute to let you know how this road trip even happened. And I'm sorry if you can hear the leaf blower. I think some of the park staff are prepping another site for some other campers this evening. So it is the end of May, and as I mentioned earlier, I think I've never gone on vacation by myself before. This is the very first time I've ever done anything like this, which is really exciting for me, because historically I've just not been, well, kind of allowed to do stuff like this. But my husband is so incredibly supportive and is excited for me to do this, even though it's kind of a bummer. See, he and I were supposed to take this week off together. We were planning a trip maybe to East Tennessee. We didn't really have any plans laid. And at the beginning of the month, his office, his company rather, kind of did a big reshuffle, a big reorganization. And in the midst of that, he was promoted into a much, a role that holds a lot more responsibility. And we're grateful for that. That's exciting in a lot of ways. It's a new stretch and a new challenge for him. But as he was reviewing all that needed to be accomplished in that new role before the end of the month, it just became really clear that taking a week off was probably not wise. And you know, when you're really stressed at work and taking a week off from work almost doesn't feel like a break. It almost feels like a burden, because your to-do list just gets longer, and the whole time you're away, you're just thinking about all of the things you're gonna have to tackle when you return. That's kind of the place he was in. And I knew that he just wouldn't be able to relax on a vacation. He'd have so much on his mind. So we decided to postpone our couples trip, and we're gonna do that probably in September. Just the two of us, go away for a couple of days. But meanwhile, I still have a ridiculous amount of PTO at my job, and our situation's kind of a use it or lose it deal. And our calendar resets at the end of June. I have weeks of PTO left. So rather than relinquishing my PTO and going to work for this week, or rather than sitting at home, taking PTO and tackling chores around the house, which desperately need to be done, by the way. There's a lot of work to do. But my husband, my sweet husband, just looked at me and said, why don't you go and enjoy your time? And so that has led us to this New England road trip adventure. So today we stopped in Middletown, Connecticut for some coffee, and then ventured through Massachusetts and into Vermont. We spent the afternoon in Brattleboro exploring downtown and then going to Retreat Farm, which was really, really fantastic. And now we're here at Fort Dummer. I'm gonna kind of settle in for a second and then fix a snack, and maybe we can go explore. There's like a hand-cut slate quarry here that could be really fun to take a peek at. I also want to check out the bathrooms. Yeah, and in a little bit, like I said, I'll show you my setup because this is kind of a great place to show you. But in the meantime, I need to get something to eat because I really haven't had anything of substance today. So I'm gonna fix a quick snack, and then we'll do some other things, and then we'll come back and make some dinner. I thought I'd take a second to show you where we visited at Retreat Farm. So this is where I parked, somewhere here, and then we walked up into, this was sort of that center area where all of those buildings were. We bopped over and visited the goats, and then we walked up through the center here to explore some of the trails. And let's see, the trails that we did the entire nature trail here. I showed you some of the Little Lamb loop. So this whole nature trail, according to the map here, is 0.65 miles. So we did that whole trail, and then we also did kind of this section. We came back out here and we walked up the Morningside Trail. Now we only made it to about here, and then I realized that it was getting maybe a little bit later and we should head over here to the park. I didn't know like how check-in would work, and I wanted to be sure that we were settled long before it got dark. So I would guess the entire ice pond loop is 1.85 miles, and I would guess we probably did maybe a quarter of it up and back. So that's, I don't know, probably another 3/4 of a mile once you go up and then back out. Either way, it wasn't too terribly long. If I didn't show you the trails, they're here's a photo actually of one. They're all graveled. They're really well maintained and well taken care of. So they're very easy to walk on. You could probably push a stroller. You could probably push a wheelchair on many. I didn't experience any very significant inclines or declines. Let's see if there are any other trail photos. No, but there is a cute cow. So Retreat Farm is definitely a place that I would encourage you to visit if you're in this area. I would imagine, I homeschooled my son, he's now an adult, but I did homeschool him, and I would imagine if we lived in this area when we were homeschooling, we would have spent, I don't know, maybe every day there. There just seems like there's so much to explore. It's so well maintained. Everyone I saw and interacted with who works there was so incredibly kind. You can tell they really love their job, and it just continued that same intentional community feeling that I got all throughout downtown Brattleboro. I mean, really, one day here isn't enough. I'm really, really enjoying myself. All right, so before it gets too dark, as the sun starts to set a little bit, And before we venture off, I thought maybe I would show you my setup here. So if you haven't realized, I will be sleeping in my car. My husband and I bought this Kia Sorento with the intention of car camping in it, and so far it's been really wonderful for us. We've done it a handful of times. We really enjoy it. It's kind of a no fuss, no muss situation. We decide we want to go camping, and then we just go camping. It takes, I don't know, 3 minutes to set up, and then you just get to enjoy being outside. So I'll kind of walk you through my setup for this trip so that you can see how I'm doing it solo. On this side, this is sort of where I have my bed set up. I'll show this better on the back, but I do have a pillow, I have a really comfy quilt, and then I also have this 15-degree rated sleeping bag because some of the nights that I'm here are gonna get much cooler, around 37 degrees, so I wanna be sure I'm warm. I do use an air mattress that has the option of blowing up for just a single person, which is what I've done this trip. I keep my shoes kind of tucked here, and then I have my toiletry basket that I'll pull out and show you, but that way it's easy reach from anywhere in the car. And then of course I have my books. For this trip, I have 3 with me. I have 1984 that I'm halfway through. I have N.T. Wright's biography of Paul that I'm, I don't know, 20 pages through, and nope, not 20, 47 pages through, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I just picked up The Testaments, Margaret Atwood's sequel to A Handmaid's Tale. Just a little light reading for a little road trip. So this is a view from the back of the car. I have, again, this is the bed here. It has the ability to blow up and actually perfectly fill the entirety of the back of the car. When I have the 3rd and 2nd rows folded flat, I do, like I mentioned earlier, I like to keep the driver's side 2nd row up just to give me a little bit more space. Over here is where I store the bag for the net, the bag for my rear windshield cover, and then also I've got just a black tarp that I'll use, it's hard to see, a black tarp that I can use for privacy. This is the cover for the back windshield. It's mesh, it's not completely blackout, but the window is tinted, and at nighttime it does give a lot of cover, and it just uses like these, I don't know what you call them, little suction cups to stay on. I also have in here, let's see if it'll, oh yes, I do have some twinkle lights set up. This is a solar powered light. It also can function as a lamp. Let's see if I can get it to work. Yeah, it functions as a lamp and an emergency light. So it's just a handy thing to have on hand. I have some apples from home. I didn't want them to go to waste, so I brought them with me. I have another thing of emergency water. I have a roll of toilet paper, my 2 bins of clothes, and then my food bin that is just chock full of all things for eating. All right, let me pull out my toiletry bin and we can take a peek at that together. Okay, so this is my toiletry bin, and I'll kind of walk you through what I have in here. I first have just a glass jar because you never know when you need a handy glass jar. To go with the glass jar, I have funnels because, well, when you're a girl, sometimes that's what you need. I also have another glass jar that I have turned into a makeshift camping shower. This is great if you don't have access to a shower. Not every place I'm going this trip has showers, or if the showers don't feel safe or you're just not comfortable, this is great. You can fill this up and it doesn't stream out. You have to kind of shake it like a salt shaker to get the water to come out, so it's kind of perfect. You can heat water up on your campfire or in your jet boil, which is what I would do, and then you're able to kind of shower more comfortably right at your site. I have my comb and my boar bristle brush, dry shampoo because well, showers aren't a thing every day. I also have water wipes, which are great in a pinch. I have my menstrual cup because that's just good to have on hand. I have some compostable trash bags with me. I have my bag of stuff. We'll go through this in a second. This is all of my bar soaps. So I've got my face bar soap, shampoo and conditioner bar soaps, and body bar soap. All of that is in there. This is a set of microfiber towels that are just super great and easy to use. Good to have on hand. Toothpaste tabs. And then my razor and my toothbrush. And lastly, I have a bunch of kits for my camping toilet. So in here, I have my tongue scraper. I have my deodorant. I have my moisturizer because my skin is super sensitive. I don't like to not have that with me. I also have dental floss. I've got another thing of dry shampoo. I've got, what else? This is just a great wave spray to use if I wash my hair. This is just helpful. Helps keep my hair looking halfway decent. And then the rest of this in here is just like makeup, basic stuff. I use mostly this Ilia brand. This is a SPF 40 skin tint. I love that brand. And then I also have some sunscreen in here as well for my face. So that's everything in my toiletries. So while we still have some daylight, we're gonna go head up towards the front of the park where there is the, ooh, lots of bugs here, where there is the hand-cut slate quarry. I kind of peeked at it when we were driving in earlier and it looks kind of a cool thing to explore. So we have time, let's go check it out. Okay, so this is the hand-cut slate quarry. Wow. This is really cool. There's like a whole legend about this, having something to do with a farmer and his daughter and a man asking for her hand. Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow. That's really cool. I can't imagine someone cut all of this out with hand tools. Wow. So peaceful. Really cool. Well, I'm glad we walked up here for this. This is neat. Okay, back at the campground, and I just used my Jetboil to boil some water. If you are unfamiliar with Jetboil, it's this really great like personal stove. It boils water in, I don't know, it might have taken 2 minutes to boil 3 cups of water. It's really quick. So I just set it up actually in the fire ring and then boiled my water, and I'm making some wild mushroom fettuccine alfredo right now, and I'm also gonna have a cosmic crisp apple for dinner. So this is kind of perfect. I think I'm gonna go grab my Bible and just sit here and wait. I've got about 6 minutes before my dinner's ready. Once it's done, I'll show you. Gonna have a little gourmet dinner outside, a little al fresco dining this evening. Okay, this is my wild mushroom alfredo that I just made by boiling water. It's just like add water. It smells really delicious. I'm excited to try it. Let's see how it tastes. All right, let's see this wild mushroom Alfredo. I'm not mad at that. It's delicious. Yeah, this is yummy. This will be a tasty dinner. Yeah, this is really good. Okay, I finished eating and spent a lot of time reading scripture. I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth, kind of get myself ready for bed. And probably in the next half an hour or so, I'm gonna crawl in and get set up to hopefully read myself to sleep. That would be really wonderful. It is, let's see, it's a little after 6 now. So yeah, probably around 6:30 I'll crawl into bed, which I know seems early, but I don't really want to be out here when the sun goes down. So I want to get inside, get myself all settled, get cozy for the night. And I've got lots of reading to do. Okay, that's a wrap. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you liked hanging out, hit that like button, subscribe, and take a peek at the description to find me in other corners of the internet. Until next time, keep it real.